Bryce is with us in Buffalo. Hi, Bryce. Welcome to the EntreLeadership podcast.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for having me on today.
Sure. What's up?
So I work for my family's landscape company. I'm a foreman there. We do have about 7 employees. Last year, we did about $600,000 in sales. And about 4 years ago, we've been in business since 1992. About 4 years ago, we opened a new division, and that was part of our snow removal. And it is snow removal of residential driveways with farm tractors and snow blowers. It was kind of a new concept to our area that we brought in. And it has grown immensely over the last 4 years. And it's kind of been a little bit my pet child here. I've been kind of running a lot of that division. And I would like to approach.
Is that in addition to the $600K, or is that part of the $600K?
That is included. That is part of the $600K. Yep.
So how much did that stuff make?
This year we did about $100,000 in overall sales at about a 40% profit rate.
Okay.
And so I want to approach my dad about possibly buying this segment of the business off of him, because it's kind of been my baby here for the last 4 years. And I just kind of want to know what your recommendations would be as how to approach him. All 3 machines are paid for. We paid cash for them. And so I'm just trying to find the best way to approach him about that. I think he would be open to it. I'm just looking for some advice.
It made $40,000.
Yes.
And you're going to eat how?
No, this would still be I would still work for the business. I intend to grow this division over the winter because I get laid off partially through the winter. Other than this, so I would like to grow this division.
So you're going to continue to work for the original company,
correct,
and run this in the winter when you're laid off.
Correct.
Okay. And the $60,000 worth of expense did not include paying you anything. It was paying your labor and your equipment cost.
It included paying me because I'm currently on payroll.
What did you make out of the 100?
Roughly almost 10 grand.
Okay. And it's what, 4 months of work, 5 months of work?
About 5 months, yes.
Okay. So you made $2,000 a month doing this last year while you were laid off?
Correct.
Okay. And what do you make at the other gig?
Overall combined, because currently it's all under the same business. My take home last year was about 61.
Okay. And so this idea would add $40K to you?
Correct. Because I would like to, my family's 2-3 generations of business owners, and this is how I kind of foresee my start. I have a passion for this segment of the industry.
What's the equipment worth today?
Approximately maybe 110, 120,000.
Okay. All right. Well, this is not a business that probably has much of a value in the marketplace where your dad to try to sell it to someone else. But we'll still use the same principles for talking about this as if he were going to sell it to someone else. Okay. So there's 3 ways to value a small business. One of them is a multiplier of gross. That does not apply here at all. 2 is what we call book value, which is if you closed it and sold off the assets. Okay. And so you said you got $120,000 worth of equipment. So the business is worth $120,000 if you closed it and sold off the assets. Unless you could get something for the customer list, which is probably your customer list on the other things, it probably doesn't have any value. Okay. But because you wouldn't sell the customer list to a competitor. So book value is probably 100, 120. The last version of appraising a business is some multiple of net profit, which is the $40,000 number after the manager and the labor was paid, and that's where we are. You've got $40,000 left over, and after all the expenses are paid. So usually a 4 multiple of that or a 5 multiple of that number is what the business is worth. So it's worth 150 to 200K.
Okay.
All right. And so sometimes we talk to generational transitions about the founder selling the next generation the business, and the next generation gives them all the profits until they hit their number. And so if your dad agreed to sell it to you for 150,000, you would say, I'm going to take no more than 10,000 out of this business while I'm still working for you in the summer. And every other dime of profit is going to go to you to pay off what I owe you until we reach 150.
Gotcha.
Which would be 3.5 or 4 years, right? Or
Yes.
if you grew the business, it could be even faster. But I'm going to give you all the profits until we get to 150, and then I'm going to own the business, which means I own the winter snow business and I own this equipment.
Okay.
And that's going to be our deal.
And our profit varies from year to year. So this year we had a lighter snowfall year. Other years our expenses are higher just due to the amount of.
Well, and if you're a hustler,
services.
it could go up just because you hustle, right?
Yes.
You go get more business.
Yes, over 4 years, we grew this from 26 clients to 210, and I have a wait list of around 30 for next year.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and so what we figure out a way to do is get all that wait list on there too. So the faster we make profit, the more profit we make, the faster we pay Dad off, we have it clear. That's thing one. Now, how do we talk to Dad about it? So what's Dad going to say when you come up and go, hey, I'd like to talk to you about buying this?
I think he would be open to it. I think I would just have to present kind of what you've laid out on how it would actually unfold. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, I've put a lot of the time and effort into getting this up and running and doing the marketing for this portion of the business.
Yeah, that doesn't give you any right to ownership, though. That was just your job.
No, I agree.
Okay, all right. But as long as he's okay with selling it off, then the conversation shouldn't be difficult, right?
I do not believe it would be difficult, no.
Okay. Because he's going to go, okay, so you're going to give me some money for the next 3 or 4 years, and then you're going to clear this thing. And then that's going to put you in a position to start talking about buying the other thing out someday too, right?
Yes, and we have a conversation this month. We've been talking about that over the long term, but that's still...
Well, this gives you more money to do that.
Correct, yes.
Because your income's going to go up after you clear this thing with your dad.
Yep.
All right. Other siblings involved?
Not currently. I have one younger brother who we're not sure where he's going. All my other siblings have moved on to other trades or other industries.
Okay. All right. Very cool. All right. Good plan. That works for me. I think you just sit down and talk to him. As long as you don't have a relational issue with him, it's a fairly simple conversation. Just go, it looks, what I understand from talking to Dave is the valuation is somewhere around 4 to 5 times the net. And so it's 160 to 200. I'd like to do a deal at 150, which is a little less than that, and give you 100% of the profits after I take 10 grand, my current salary, until we get to that 150 number, if it's 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
And I'm going to work my butt off and try to do it in 2.
Yes. Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that'll work beautiful. Hey, you're a sharp young dude. Well done. You've thought this through. You're using a lot of wisdom. There's no entitlement in your voice or your vocabulary. So I think your dad's done a good job, and I think he knows it. So he's going to make it easy for him to work with you. And in terms of doing something with you, he's probably got that in the back of his head anyway. He's probably going to make him proud that you ask about it. So way to go, man. Way to go. Good people. Very well done. Very well done. That's how it's done in America. As long as there are garages, there will be small businesses. As long as there's someone with an idea. I'm going to use a farm tractor and I'm going to clean snow in Buffalo. And yet there's people that are unemployed. Not named Bryce. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast.